So this video and the next video I create are gonna actually be about fixing a few mistakes that I've made in this process, okay? So you see I do have all 12 bearing flats on here, but these are on the wrong side. Well, I wanna show you an easy fix on how to fix that problem. So maybe this is good that I made that mistake because it teaches you a new skill. The following video I'm gonna make where we actually make a separate component where we have like a rigid joint between, our bearing flats and pop rivets. I'm probably mixing up my Autodesk terminology. That's gonna even solve what I'm doing here and just make everything easier if we do that first. So when I create that video, I'm gonna drop it in before all these other videos to give you guys a heads up. So with this, they're on the wrong side. Well, there's actually not too difficult of a way to fix that. What I do is I have to open up the joints parent. Okay, that's what they call these little arrows, right? And wow, there are a lot of joints. Well, I fortunately have already kind of checked this, and I do remember these are some of the last joints I made. So if you can remember something like that, it's easy to find. But I'm just going to hover over or even click on these joints until I find the one I want, which, okay, so 27 you see is that one. So I'm going to go up one. 26, there it is. That's the one I want to adjust. There's a little blue box you can see highlighted on it right now. So I'm going to right click on here, edit joint, and really all I need to do is click this flip button. All right, so I flip it, and that flipped the wrong piece. That is interesting. It's probably because I did the one piece to the other piece. However, because of another joint, that piece shouldn't move. Let's see what happens when I click OK. All right, and as I was thinking, it did fix it correctly, right? Because this other piece, kind of scared me. It looked like it was going to move around that bearing flat, but it was already joined, okay? So it has a further back joint, so maybe it respects that kind of seniority, right? Like the earlier joints there. So I've got that piece down there, and again, the best thing to do to finish these up is use these square-on views, right? So I need to actually join it correctly. So I clicked finish, although I really wasn't finished. So that's 26. So let me edit again. I'm going to zoom in, and as you can see, I did flip it around, but it's kind of not centered the way I want. So I'm just going to drag the arrow until it's fixed. Okay, and again, it's showing that other piece moving, but whatever it takes here. Okay, so that looks good there, and actually, it looks pretty good up and down. Okay, last thing to check before I click OK here is let's go to the top view. Okay, so I'm going to click this little arrow, go to the top view on my view cube. And there it is. All right, and we just want to make sure that, like I can see right now, it's actually not poking through the other side. What's going to be better, because this thing is kind of in our way, in this case, I'm going to go to the bottom view. Okay, now I can see it better. I'm going to drag this just about like that. I want those lines to be right lined up. Perfect. Click OK, and now I'm set. All right, and so if we go back to our home view, we see good, that's been taken care of. All right, and it is fixed. So the next step will be putting these bearing flats in. You see I've got a couple in here. So I'm going to show you one way to do it, although this way takes a little bit of work. That's why the next video is going to show you how to make another kind of like component where you combine, or subcomponent or subassembly, whatever you want to call it, where you actually combine a single bearing flat and the two pop rivets. Because I looked at them, they're all the same on the whole Clawbot. All right, so you only have to make it once, and then you have it for the whole thing, okay? But what we would do is we come over, so this is in the structure folder, right? If we're in this thing over here, Clawbot robot. So go to structure, you're gonna find your pop rivet. Okay, we want the file that's F3D, not the IPT. Right click, insert into current design. Okay, there it is. I'm gonna zoom in. I'm going to drag this over a little bit, and because of what I'm going to do with it, I'm actually going to turn it this way so I can see this face here. So I'm going to say OK. All right, and now I will join it. Let's just to be consistent. The first thing is set, and then the second thing moves to that, right? So let's choose the first thing to be our bar this time. So I need it to join to this outside hole. So I'm just going to say, sure, this surface right here. That looks good, okay? And what I want that to join to is specifically this face right there, all right? So that's what I want. Of course, it is kind of being weird about that. Let me try something a little different. I'm gonna deselect that. Let's try doing this one first, okay? Just see if it'll make it a little happier. All right, so got it. And then I come over here and we're ready to select this. And let's try that again, about like that. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna go square on view so we can make sure in the 3 dimensions it's correct, at least for these first 2 dimensions. Okay, so side to side it's looking good. And now it's looking good up and down. And then we just want to go to the top, make sure it's good there. All right, so try backing it out a little bit. Okay, looks like it is perfect. It should be because you were joining it to that face, okay, a face to a face. So click OK. There we go, we got that one in. So you might be thinking, ooh, this kind of takes a while. Well, so here's the second sheet, which again is not going to be as good as the next video I show you, but the second sheet would be, look, I've already got these things here, okay? I put 2 in, so what if I just, you know, let's get rid of this thing, okay? And say, we want to select, oh, it's being difficult. Okay, so again, let's say delete, and we want to select that, and it is not letting me do that. Okay. I could also just go to the very bottom here, and I should be able to do it, okay, because it's going to be the last piece that was put in. All right, so we're going to delete this. Yep, delete. Okay, so now I can use the rectangular pattern again, right, like you've seen before, except this time I'm going to pick 2 components to rectangularly pattern, all right? Forget that this piece isn't in the right place yet. We can deal with that later. But what we'll do is rectangular pattern. Okay, let me minimize this data panel so we can see a little better. And we want to select, we want this to be on components, so good, it's on components, okay? We want this, and we want that, okay? So it says 2 objects selected. All right, so now the direction, I've had a little trouble with this, but I want it to go along that line, so good, it's giving me that option. If what you click doesn't give you like the directional arrow you want, you might need to click some other part of the geometry, all right, to get it right. And quantity, yeah, we do want 3 of those. And again, it's going to be that 2-inch difference, right? So I can start dragging these over, all right? And, oh no, sorry, I think it's a 5-inch, yeah. So I'm going to go ahead on here and say -5 and hit enter. And boom, there they are. Okay, so the reason this isn't quite as good as what you're about to see is I still have to go in and put the joints on there. The next video will completely erase that. I say next video, it's possible you will have watched it earlier by the time you see this one. All right, thanks. Here we go.